What is the most important thing to make your marriage successful?
For my wife and I, up to this point, it has been all about making sure that Christ is at the center of it all.
I think you got to. It's a lot of give and take, and there are times you got upset, and uh, you have to talk about it, and then you have to let it go.
It's because we find that if we have an argument, if we struggle or get frustrated about something, we find that we can always come back to we have Jesus in common. Mr. Lether's getting a little crazy out in the hall.
I think communication, that you can talk with each other, not get upset, and talk it out.
Why do you think so many marriages fail these days?
Partly because of my last answer. I think that God and Jesus Christ are left out of the picture, which I don't think that's how marriage was ordained to be.
I think people aren't very mature. I think they have learned how to cooperate with other people and other different viewpoints. They get upset when everything doesn't go their way.
Well, I agree with what she says. I think so many people are getting married really young, and they haven't had life experiences, and so they don't know what it's all about. And money becomes a big problem. Well, they want everything now. Their new car, they want a house, they want all these things. And instead of taking the time to get to know each other, they're worried about things instead of their life.
I do think that marriage is a God-created connection between a man and a woman. But I also believe marriages fail pretty easily because we take divorce too lightly. It can happen, but it's just too simple.
Do you believe divorce is wrong? Why or why not?
I don't think it's always wrong. I think that sometimes there are rare cases and moments when marriage is needed, or when divorce is needed. It's not what the intention was of the Lord, and so we shouldn't turn to it so easily.
I don't think divorce is wrong. There are people who shouldn't be together. Then if they add children to it, it's even worse. The children suffer. If you've tried to work it out, you've gone to a counselor or something, then it's the best thing for them to do.
When you're dealing with an abusive situation, either physical or emotional abuse, especially if children are involved, it's very toxic for them, and I think you just figure that it just has not been a good idea to be married.
Newlyweds don't have any children for a couple of years.
Be prepared for the unexpected.
You have to take time to get to know each other. Then you have a child you bring in, which takes a tremendous amount of work and caring and loving and doing all those things. It can create tremendous problems. Plus, in these first few years, you should be building up a nest egg to take care of emergencies, unique situations that you don't have to be arguing about, oh, you spent this for that or that for this.
How you're going to operate your family and so on before you bring children into it. And the other thing is, once the children have arrived, it's a lot more expensive than you ever planned. Not in some kind of situation where you have some financial stability, it creates conflict. If you're with somebody who thinks they're more wonderful than they dream possible, you got a problem.
No matter how perfect things seem, there will be moments, better or worse. There's going to be struggles. There's going to be hard times. You have to sacrifice and you have to push together. No. It's funny because if you go into a marriage with the plan of changing someone, it doesn't work. We have ways you could physically change someone now. I think there's more depth to it, so no.
We met at a Lutheran Luther League meeting. We were both 16. We got to know each other, and then also I worked at the public library, and we became friends, and he would come up to the library, work on his homework, and then he would drive me home. We really were friends before we were really anything romantic.
We knew each other quite a while before we got married. In fact, 16, and we got married at what, how old?
24.
24.
We knew each other 8 years.
Yeah. Then it was a while before we had Eric, so
It was
our
like
son.
11 years.
it gave us the time to
Mm-hmm.
get to each other and to develop a basis for a financial basis, which has
Also-
paid off in the long run. Now we have a few dollars.
We traveled.
Oh.
We were able to travel. We took a 6-month sabbatical because we both were teachers. So we toured Eastern Europe, Western Europe,
Western.
and we were together every day 24/7. We both figured if we could be together 24/7 for 6 months and get along, then we were mostly likely to have this a long relationship.
And we only had one argument at that time.
That's right. One argument in all those 6 months.
What did you argue about?
God, I don't remember. I was,
Don't remember exactly what it was. He was being silly, and I think you were in the bathtub and you spritzed me with water.
I did.
And that is a no. My hair done once a week. I don't do my hair, and so he put some water, kind of spritzed some water, and that was not acceptable. So I was bent out of shape. A week we would have my hair done, and he would also time to time have his hair cut. And we were in all these foreign countries. Things were different. The expense was different. It was kind of an adventure.
Does that answer your question, lovely one?